Hello, good folks. Today I want to talk about paperwork in the machine shop. This is just kind of a basic introduction. The process of manufacturing products in a machine shop is not just a simple matter of taking a piece of raw material and machining it into something useful. There are usually many steps along the way, steps that could be forgotten if they were not recorded. This is the purpose for having blueprints, route sheets, and inspection sheets. These three pieces of paperwork are the most important to the machinist. They help ensure quality, productivity, on-time delivery, and control costs while reducing confusion and mistakes. Blueprints illustrate the finished part, usually from different angles. The part's dimensions are specified in most of these views, along with the part drawing and its dimensions. Such information as material, heat treat, coatings, interpretation guidelines, and design revisions are also included. Blueprints that show how multiple components go together are called assembly drawings. These are not usually dimensioned because they are not intended for the machining of components. The second piece of paperwork, the route sheet, maps out the step-by-step manufacturing process by which raw materials machined into finished product. Each operation is listed in sequential order and explained. The machine each operation is performed on is specified, and the tooling required for that operation is identified. Processes that must be performed by another company are included. Route sheets may also contain setup and run times. These tell the machinist what the company has established as reasonable time requirements for running the job. Sometimes the route sheet may be called a router, traveler, or work order. Incidentally, the term route sheet does not usually refer to a single sheet. A route sheet may be many pages long. The last piece of paperwork, the inspection sheets, are a quality control document that specifies dimensions and tolerances for each operation and records the dimensions of the first article part for each operation. A first article, incidentally, is the first good part made after setting up an operation on a machine. The machinist checks it himself first and then turns it into the inspection department to be verified. Inspection sheets often specify which gauge or measuring device is to be used to check each dimension and ensure fast and accurate measurements. On parts that are expensive, have dimensions that the machinist cannot check himself, or have some other aspect to them that is critical, it may be required to have an inspector do an in-process check. These are also recorded on the inspection sheet. Those are the three primary documents, but there's more, of course. In addition to these three primary documents, many shops also include cover sheets that identify the customer, project and part names and numbers, due date, priority level if it's hot, or do expedite immediately or what have you. But also CNC setup sheets will be included for each operation. And sometimes what they call statistical process control sheets, also known as SPC. This is more or less a quality control measure. We'll talk about all of these things later on, but SPC is not exactly a favorite aspect of manufacturing, in my opinion these days. I don't much like it, but anyhow, a lot of shops use it, so that's the way it is. All of this paperwork should be stapled together and stuck inside a plastic envelope, and then this package should stay with the job, that is with the parts, from start to finish. It never leaves it. It's never put in a rack somewhere in the shop. It stays with the parts at all times. Now, I also recommend you create a personal notebook of some sort in which to keep your employee handbook, company notes and memos, performance evaluations, and your own process control book of sorts, wherein you create your own notes on how to run machines and perform operations. This isn't shop paperwork. This is your own personal paperwork, but I want to mention it right now because it's a good time to. These notes can be worth their weight in gold to you. I also recommend keeping a running record of your hours and times on jobs as a CYA measure. If you work for a shop where they say, oh, we work by the honor system, just record your hours at the end of the week and let us know what they are, and that's good enough. You don't have to punch the clock around here. We're a little more laid back than that. That ought to be a red flag. Hey, Steve in Garden Grove, California, you still owe me $982. So if anyone takes it that casually, that ought to be a red flag. It is best to split this into 2 notebooks or files, one to keep in your toolbox at the shop, the other at home because its contents are strictly confidential. Alrighty, folks, that's it for this episode. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.